What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here, up $672 in the first hour of trading. It's currently 1 p.m. and I am up almost $1,000. But let's get into the trades and show you what I did this morning. Okay, so my first trade was on MYND. This one was an opening range breakout, and what I mean by that is when a stock opens up. So this is 9:30 right here, this red candle this is 9:30. So when a stock opened up, it's obviously going to go either up or down. In this case, it went down, so it left a top, right? That's the top where it opened and it went down. And it kind of creates a bottom as it curls here, right? So as it curls, it creates a bottom. So this is the opening range. We have a high and we have a low. These two bars are pre-market. You can use those in this strategy if you want. If there's a good amount of volume, you can definitely use them. Otherwise, just use, the 9:30 candles and on. So we have our opening range there. So what I like to do is I'll wait for a stock that I'm watching, in this case MYND. It's a low float. It was gapping up, so I had room to move. I was watching to see what kind of breakout it would do. Would it break to the upside of this opening range, or would it break to the downside? So it created this downside move, curled up, and a lot of times when it breaks out of either the top or the bottom, it moves in a pretty big way. In this case, it broke to the upside, and I use this as an entry point as it breaks the top side of the opening range. And the opening range breakout strategy is only valid at the market open. I mean, after you can't do an opening range breakout at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It defeats the purpose of it. So this is only to be used at the market open. So we have the opening range high, we have the opening range low, and I will play to whatever side that it breaks out to. So what I did is I went long as it looked like it was going to break this top side. I went long at 178, went 3,000 shares, and sure enough, boom, that's the move that I got. And I sold. I was just looking for the break at two of this, $2. The reason why, and you'll hear it as I run the live feed, is we had the 50-day and the 100-day moving average right here at 206-ish, somewhere in there, 205 as resistance, and I just didn't think it would get over that. So I sell 1,000 shares at 206, and I try to sell the remaining 2,000 shares at 196. I'm sorry, at above 2, but I got a really bad fill. I got filled at 196. So all in all, a good trade, just over $600 on this first trade. I'm long MYND 179, looking for the opening range breakout, but just, all right, it broke it. There you go.
MYND, I'm watching for a scalp. Yeah, I've got a starter of MYND. I'm taking a starter on this for the break over 2, because you can see how much it's squeezing up.
Sold a little bit at 206.
On MYND, I would add over 215 if it holds this level.
I'm all out the rest. 196. Bad fill on the rest.
Maybe 210 for an add.
I was just glancing at my daily chart, and there's the 50-day and 100-day moving average right there at 208.
So the high right now is...
All right, this next trade is on TAIT. This one will hit. You'll see when I run the live trading video. It hits my scanner as I flip to it. I immediately see that it's only up about 10 cents from the low of the day. From it hasn't run 50 cents yet. So I kind of have a rule of thumb that if a stock if it's hitting the scanner and it hasn't moved much, and I like the daily chart, I'll get in early. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But if I get in early and it doesn't work, I'm only going to lose maybe 10 cents, which in this case would have been $400 because I took 4,000 shares. But if it does work, I'm going to be making bank. So what happens here, I get in, lots of volume. Where is that at? Over here. No, that's not it. Here it is. A lot of volume comes spiking into this thing, like 60,000 shares out of nowhere, and you can kind of see on the daily chart, it loves to spike. I mean, it can move. The daily chart is in an upward trend. We're curling here out of this nice consolidation area. So, you know what? We're getting over this peak. We were heading towards this 220 area. If we could break over 232 area, we got into this window. I mean, there's a lot going for it. it just didn't work out. And I did try it later on, and it also didn't work out then. But again, if since I was able to get in early, I can minimize my losses. The risk reward was very heavily favored in the reward category, much more than the risk. But it just didn't work out. So anyway, I went long. You'll see in my scanners. I went long. I immediately look at the 1 minute chart, and it hadn't moved much. Back here, the low of day was like 185, and then that's where the volume comes in. So I get in basically 10 cents from the low of day, and it's starting to hit people's scanners. And everybody's looking for that next runner. Since AWX was going stupid, everybody's looking for that next one. So I thought it would be TA or TAIT. Just didn't work out. I was likely when I saw it break $2 and come right back down, and there's just no follow through for the second break of $2. That was kind of my cue to get out. So I ended up selling. I sold basically 194 for -1.
It's kind of an odd spot on the 5 minute to be a buyer.
That's the 1 minute play on MYND.
So in the trading this afternoon at 1 o'clock, I'm going to show you guys.
It's a tough one. I'm very hesitant to play this one just because that sell-off was pretty bad.
97 down 68 cents.
TAIT, I'm long.
Scanner. First thing I do is check the volume, check the flow.
195.
Pull up to level 2. I see it popping up. I see traders buying it at 2, and I can already see it's moving. So I just watch it. I ask myself where would be a safe place to buy it. It's only 75,000 shares of volume.
AWX is now halted on a circuit breaker. AWX is halted on a circuit breaker.
220 is an interesting spot.
AWX halted at 1630.
Not enough volume for me to really buy it yet with only 92,000 shares, but I'll keep it on watch and see if it holds the first pullback and then continues higher. MYND, I was more willing to be aggressive on because it was did this kind of red to green and then was surging up and breaking over $2, and it had a little bit more volume at that time. So that for me was more interesting. This was also on our scanners pre-market. It was gapping up. You can see the news this morning at 7:31.
AWX hit a high of $36 in the pre-market. Low was $14 after the open, now at 1630.
The volume's a little lighter, so the risk of a false break.
All right, I'm all out. 194 -1. Okay, so this next trade on Tate. Again, we're inside this candle right here. I'm looking for a high day break. It breaks it. I see volume coming in. I go long. I got a really crappy fill at basically 210. It spikes up to 215. This looks like it's working way up there, and then it craps all over itself. The bid drops out. The bid literally dropped like 15 cents or something stupid like that. So when I see that, I'm just not trying to hang around. I can hear, the chat rooms in my ears not playing it. They're not excited about it, which is important because it gives me a gauge of what the market thinks of TAIT. If the chat rooms don't like it, that's probably 10,000 people that also aren't going to play it or aren't going to like it as well. And if those 10,000 people don't like it, there's probably 10,000 more people that don't like it. See what I mean? It's just a gauge of what the market thinks of a stock. So they didn't like it, which means it was probably a mistake to get into it. I think it's still a good trade, but it didn't work. So it's a good trade that didn't work.
Here, it's more likely to do a double top and then come back down. Doesn't mean money can't be made, but the risk is higher. Tate squeezing up.
Long Tate again, trying 210.
9:53 and 56 seconds. So AWX resumption will be 9:58.
All right. The rest of tape break.
About a minute to resumption on AWX.
No, sorry,
-3.
-3.
Sorry,
Now the freaking volume comes into it. All right, so my next trade was MYND. This one, I really like the setup on this. I did have one trade before. This one was MYOS. I hit my high day Momo scanner. I went long, didn't work out. I ended up losing 4 cents on 3,000 shares. So anyway, this MYND trade. So what I liked about it, right? So I was looking for a 5-minute candle over candle play. So we were the chart kind of looked like this at the time. So we had the pop up, we're in the pullback, and now I'm waiting for this next candle to open up and waiting for the break of the last pullback candle, which at this moment would have been the break of 240. So what I liked about it is when it went candle under candle, you can kind of see that it broke the low of the previous pullback candle. It didn't flush out. It didn't like just drop off the face of the earth. It just tells me that there's some momentum still there in the stock. So I really like that. So it tells me that the 5-minute chart, the 5-minute candle over candle play is probably going to work out. So instead of waiting for 240 to break, I was looking at the 1-minute chart at this point saying, where does the 1-minute chart give me an entry? Well, it did, and it was the VWAP. Okay, so this teal line running through here is the VWAP, and you can kind of see that it tested it, bounced off it, tested it again. And I'm telling myself, okay, well, maybe if I just get in on the VWAP, I'll just ride this thing as it approaches, and it's more like this at the time. I'll just ride this thing up to that 5-minute candle over candle play that's working on the chart so far. So that's what I do. I go long at 231, 3,000 shares, right inside this candle. And I'm telling myself, okay, I'll stop out if VWAP breaks or if the low of this candle breaks, so 224. So I'm risking, 7 cents here on 3,000 shares, $210 for potential to get a nice continuation move out of this thing, maybe go high a day, maybe break the 200-day moving average, all the good stuff, right? So it starts creeping up, and this right here is that 240 level that I was looking for originally to break. So you can kind of see that this is kind of an important level. Here it is on the 5-minute chart. Here's on the 1-minute chart. Volume starts to come in. 200,000 shares of volume. Before that, we were getting 17, 28, 34, 44,000. High there was 88,000. Big volume comes in here for the 5-minute candle over candle play. So people were watching this, right? So I'm in early. So we get that volume spike, and I ended up selling on the way up there. Inside this candle hit 250 and stalled out, and I thought maybe we would double top right here, and I was kind of scared, so I just wanted to sell and take my profit. It did end up breaking 250 and going to 270, but nonetheless, I sold 1,000 shares at 233, unfortunately, for only 20 bucks. But the remainder I sold for a nice 15-cent win. 2,000 shares, $300.
46,000 and 360. I don't know how that.
Watching MYND for the 5-minute play.
Been holding a position from longer.
So over 240 right now. We had a
This
5-minute
is
candle
already
under
a
candle, and it only dropped 3 cents. So I'll definitely look to play the first 5-minute candle over candle.
Involved, you click on this, you look at it,
You know what? I'm going to get in early. I'm getting in now, right around the VWAP here. VWAP breaks 224. I'll get out.
First couple days, opportunities. I'm up 2,000 bucks, but that's not like a home run. I think I'll leave.
There we go.
55, and if it breaks over the $0.50, maybe I'll add at 48, and then 55, and then try to sell at 60. In order for this to get halted on a circuit breaker, just watching this here for a second, it needs to go up 10% or more. That's 24 cents. just added for the break of the $0.50. You can see that little bit of resistance.
All right, I'm out
there.
246.
I'm going to go for the break.
I didn't like how it couldn't break that 250.
Target is 250.
And that's how I ended the first hour of trading, up $672. I'm currently up over $1,300. I've been recording this video like for 2 hours now, and I've been making trades while I'm recording it. So I'm up over $1,300 now. It's 2 o'clock, so definitely a good day for me. I think I'll probably call it quits here pretty soon. If you have any questions on my trading style, please feel free to ask. Come into the easiest way to get a hold of me. If you want one-on-one attention, come into my free Discord chat room. No strings attached whatsoever. You don't pay for anything. I don't ask you to pay for anything. I don't ask for your money. If you want to tip me, you can tip me. Never ask for tips. But yeah, come on in. The link for that is in the description down below of this YouTube video. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.